Have you ever felt how others use the term dissociation differently than you do in your practice? And I'm not just talking about lay people in everyday language and even here on YouTube, but also by colleagues, researchers and authors. If we're not talking about the same phenomena, can we diagnose adequately? Can we prevent miscommunication and being misunderstood by colleagues and supervisors? Many clinicians and scientists hold that dissociation includes a host of phenomena, including depersonalization, derealization, lowering of consciousness, narrowing of consciousness, voices, amnesia, shutdown, a lack of integration, and so much more. But when a concept becomes this broad, it becomes useless. For example, if a lack of integration becomes dissociation, then almost all mental disorders become a dissociative disorder. Pierre Janet's original idea of dissociation was specific, clear and precise.
Pierre Janet proposed that individuals with hysteria, a group of disorders that we would now categorize as dissociative disorders, are marked by particular features. One feature is that they include systems of ideas and functions that are among each other not sufficiently linked with each other. These subsystems, he said, are subsystems of the personality. Thus, the personality can become divided in subsystems. And these subsystems are about ideas and functions. Ideas include not just cognitions, but also memories, bodily feelings, affective feelings, imagination, fantasy, and more. Functions are the kind of things that human beings do and need to do in order to live life.
Crucially, Janet distinguished dissociation from lowering of consciousness and narrowing of the field of consciousness. These phenomena could accompany dissociation, but they were not the same thing. But over time, this precision has been lost. From the 1980s onward, clinicians included ever more phenomena into the field of dissociation. A clear example of the problem includes the so-called dissociative subtype of PTSD.
We can relive traumatic memories in a hyper-aroused fashion or in a hypo-aroused fashion. The hypo-aroused fashion would fit the dissociative subtype of PTSD, and you now find it in DSM-5. But it can now also stand for reliving traumatic events in a hyper-aroused fashion, according to the definition that Fruin and Nijenhuis have given in more recent publications. The issue is that now, thus, it's not only a dissociative subtype that is marked by dissociation, but any form of PTSD would include dissociation in as much as it includes reliving traumatic memories. And reliving traumatic memories is part of the definition of PTSD. Hence, every PTSD is dissociative. But if every PTSD is dissociative, you cannot talk anymore about the dissociative subtype of PTSD.
So let me be clear about the basic position that Ellert Nijenhuis and I are taking here. Dissociation is a particular lack of integration, but not every lack of integration is dissociation. What we propose is that dissociation involves the existence of relatively divided subsystems of an entire system. We must clearly define what this entire system is, but that's a topic for another video. A specific feature of these subsystems is that each of them has their own sense and idea of who they are, what the world is like, and how their self and world relate to one another.
Living organisms are agents. They are agents because they engage in actions. And they engage in actions as autonomous systems. Autonomy means here that they work for themselves. Every organism works for itself, or else it will die. They must long and strive to gain that which is useful to them. to avoid or get rid of what is harmful to them, and to ignore what is insignificant to them.
Dissociative subsystems qualify as agents as they sense, feel, and think, and so on, in the frame of their specific longings. For example, one dissociative agent may manage daily life, but avoids traumatic memories. Another dissociative agent may reenact these traumatic memories and longs to defend against the threat itself to the best of its abilities. By defining dissociation as a particular lack of integration and recognizing the existence of dissociative subsystems, this gives us the opportunity to actually heal dissociative patients. In the 40 years that Ellert Nijenhuis worked as a clinical psychotherapist, he has healed countless of patients with a dissociative disorder. Together with our associate, Sina Hulten, we have developed an online course on enactive trauma therapy that addresses the common challenges that many trauma therapists like yourself face, such as feeling overwhelmed or experience that the therapy is going too slow or not really knowing how to help patients. With this guidance, you will feel more confident assisting dissociative patients to make meaningful clinical progress.